Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 1st of October 2023. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to cover a mapping topic, and after then we are going to cover some topics from the text and context page, which is like on Sunday it is known as frequently asked questions FAQ page. And apart from this, there are some important scientific articles that are relevant for science and technology section. We are going to cover them also. So we have additionally some questions for you to, let's say, practice for the prelims and mains exam. So these are the list of articles that we are going to cover in today's newspaper analysis. So in all, we are going to cover about 10 topics and one mapping topic. So first topic is a mapping topic. So we are going to discuss about this topic. Name of the topic is Galapagos Island. Okay. Many of you may have heard this name, Galapagos Island. So Galapagos Island is that island where Charles Darwin has done his studies related to environment and ecology. So Charles Darwin came up with theory of evolution, okay, or theory of evolution on natural selection. So the theory of evolution of Charles Darwin is one of the most important theories when it comes to understanding the concepts related to evolution. So recently what has happened is, like, the central government of India has decided to remove a chapter that talked about Darwin's theory of evolution. So for that perspective also, this topic has been in news, and today in the Hindu newspaper came an article. That article talks about Darwin's finch evolution. So we are going to discuss about that topic, let's say, in detail in the later part of the discussion. But before that, we need to understand where is this Galapagos Island located, right? So to the right side here, over here, you can see these are small islands as part of Galapagos archipelago. So this Galapagos archipelago is a, let's say, series of islands. So there are, let's say, some big islands, some small islands over here, okay? So this is one of the map of this island, and apart from this, this is another map of Galapagos Island. So this Galapagos Island is located in the Pacific Ocean. Which ocean? It is located in the Pacific Ocean. It is located in the Pacific Ocean. So this is important for us to understand, and this is located, let's say, to the west of South America. South America is also known as Latin America. So we are going to exactly locate where this island is located, okay? So we are going to see where is exactly this island located. So see over here, if we see this map, right, in this map, let's say, this is the world map, and in this map what they have done is they have pinpointed the location of Galapagos Island. So this is the location of Galapagos Island. So this particular island has been, let's say, enlarged, and it talks about those islands that are part of Galapagos Island, okay? So this Isla Fernandina, okay, then Isla Isabella, then Isla San Salvador, Isla Santa Cruz, Isla Santa Maria, Isla San Cristobal, Isla Hispanola, okay? So these are, let's say, some of the islands, okay? They say it Isla means like this is a Spanish language, okay? So Darwin and Wolf Marine Sanctuary, so they have created a sanctuary also. And why this island is important? Because it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well, okay? So this island Galapagos Island that we see, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, okay? It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. So that's the thing, okay? So we need to understand that this Galapagos Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well, okay? So that's the thing, okay? We need to remember this thing. Apart from this, let us see that this Galapagos Island is located to the west of Ecuador, okay? So this Galapagos Island is a territory of Ecuador, okay? Ecuador is a country in South America. So there are 12 independent countries, 12 sovereign countries in South American continent, okay? So one of the countries, Ecuador, which is in the northwest of, let's say, South America. So this island is located about 1000 kilometers, okay? It is located about 1000 kilometers to the west of Ecuador, it is around 642 nautical miles. Okay, so we can say it is 642 miles, right, to the west of Ecuador. Okay, this Galapagos Island is very important because this is where Charles Darwin has done his studies in 1835. Okay, so he has done his studies in the year of 1835, and this is the place, Galapagos Island, where he has done studies on finch, so on the birds. So he has identified the beak of the birds. Okay, means like, you know, how long the beak are and the color and all. So like, you know, through this study he told us about the theory of evolution. He has talked about let's say like, you know, radiative radiative evolution as well. So we are going to discuss about this, and this is a physical map of South America. This physical map talks about, let's say like, you know, it has Amazon basin, Amazon river, then we have llanos, we have pampas. Okay, pampas are grasslands, and to the west of this particular, let's say west of this continent, we have this Altiplano, means like these are, let's say like, you know, Atacama Trench. So these are like Atacama deserts are located over here, and to the eastern side we have these mountains. Okay, so mountains are located over here. So there are Parana river, then like Paraguay river, etc. Okay, so this is also important. Okay, Patagonia is also a kind of desert, okay, which is found in South America. So this is important, and this island has been created, right? This island has been created as part of Nazca plate. Okay, so when we study plate tectonic theory, there we study about some major plates and some minor plates, and like, you know, beneath the surface of the earth, these plates are moving, right? They are moving at a very relatively, let's say, slower pace. Okay, and since the movement of plates are happening, right, so like, you know, they are leading to, let's say, formation of continents. They are leading to breaking of the, let's say like, you know, the bottom portion of the seas as well. Okay, so rift valleys are being created. So where is this Galapagos Island located, in which plate? So it is located in the Nazca plate. So here we can see this is Nazca plate, and this Nazca plate is, let's say like, you know, to the west of South America. So this is where, let's say like, we have Ecuador. Okay, we have Ecuador located over here, right? To the west of Ecuador we have this Galapagos Island. Okay, so Galapagos Islands are located on Nazca plates. Okay, that's the thing. So it is important for us to remember. Okay, so good evening Sakshi, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so these are here, like, you know, there are some major tectonic plates and some minor plates. Okay, so this is known as African plate, Eurasian plate, Australian plate, North American plate, South American plates. Okay, then Pacific plate. So these are some of the major plates, and minor plates are like, you know, Nazca plate, we have Philippine plate, Caribbean plate, like that, Cocos plate. So these are minor plates. So these are important whenever you are reading geomorphology. Okay, so geomorphology, you start understanding about, let's say, geographical features of the earth, right? So now we are going to discuss about the first topic. Okay, which topic? The first topic. It says the concerns of using Adhar in welfare. So we are going to understand about this topic, why this topic is important. We are going to look into that, and after that we are going to discuss about a question. Okay, means based question. So name of the topic is, right, name of the topic is the concerns of using Adhar in welfare. The concerns of using Adhar in welfare. So today, why we are studying the concerns of using Adhar in welfare, it is because of a recently released report, and that particular report has been released by an organization which is known as Moody's Investor Service. Okay, Moody's Investor Service. So so Moody's is a kind of rating agency. Okay, it rates different countries, different organizations right, according to their financial standing and all. And this organization has recently released a report, and name of that report is Decentralized Finance and Digital Assets. Okay, what is the name of the report? Name of the report is Decentralized Finance. Okay, Decentralized Finance and Digital Assets. Okay, Decentralized Finance and Digital Assets. So this is the name of the report which is released by this organization, Moody's Investor Service. And in this report they have talked about, like, decentralized financial system, and they have talked about digital infrastructure that, let's say, assist in the decentralized finance. Okay, so we need to understand about what do we mean by decentralized finance also. Okay, we need to understand about the concept, okay, about the concept which is known as decentralized finance. Okay, decentralized finance. So what is the meaning of decentralized finance? Let's discuss about it. So when we talk about decentralized finance, we mean that, like, if a person wants to borrow some money, for example, you as a citizen of India, you want to borrow some money to purchase a house. So where are you going to go? You are going to go to a bank. Okay, you are going to go to a bank, and that bank will finance, let's say, like, your house, or it may finance your car, anything, like, if you want to purchase a house, if you want to purchase a car, right, or if you want to take a loan. So the bank is going to give finance, and in return the bank will be charging interest rate from you. Okay, bank will be charging interest rate, right? You need to repay the principal in equated monthly installments. These are known as EMIs. Along with this, like, they will be charging interest rate. So generally you are approaching a bank, and then that bank is being regulated by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, the bank is regulated by the Reserve Bank of India. So certainly all the banks in the world, right, they are regulated by one or other, let's say, central bank of that particular country. In India, this is the Reserve Bank. So this is a kind of centralized finance that we follow. In case of decentralized finance are done on, let's say, blockchain network. Okay, they are done on blockchain enabled network. Okay, they are done on blockchain enabled network. So what happens in blockchain enabled network? Over here, you as a user can borrow money from your peers. A peer person can lend money directly to you. You do not need to reach out to a bank. That is known as decentralized finance. And this decentralized finance has revolutionized the way in which people borrow money from one another. Okay, so people can directly borrow money from one another. There is no need of any bank, and generally these money are given in the form of cryptocurrency. Okay, these money are generally given in the form of cryptocurrency. However, recently what has happened, it is important for us to learn about this. Recently, this Moody's Investor Service has released this report which says decentralized finance and digital assets. And as part of this report, they have talked about two biometric systems. Okay, two biometric systems. So what are those biometric systems that they have talked about? One of the biometric system that they have talked about is the Adhar system. Okay, the Adhar system. So what is Adhar? Adhar is given by Unique Identification Authority of India. Okay, UIDAI. So Adhar number is given to every citizen of India. Okay, so every Indian citizen is given a unique identification ID. Okay, they are given a unique identification ID which is known as, okay, unique identification ID they are given. This is known as Adhar system. Okay, Adhar system. However, what has happened when we talk about this, okay, so when we talk about this Adhar system, so they said this Adhar system is not reliable. Okay, they have said many things. This particular organization has said many things. One of the things that it has said is that, like, you know, the authentication of Adhar becomes a tedious task because, let's say, like, you know, Adhars are authenticated using biometric of the individuals, and many laborers, let's say, like, who are doing manual work, their fingerprint keeps on changing. Sometimes their fingerprint, let's say, like, you know, becomes it gets rubbed up. So that's why Adhar authentication becomes difficult. So they have criticized the Adhar system. Okay, along with this, they have also talked about, World Line project. Okay, they have talked about World Line project. So what is this World Line project? This World Line project is a kind of, let's say, like, you know, biometric based cryptocurrency network, and this network has been released, right? This particular World Line project has been released by Sam Altman. Okay, it has been released by Sam Altman. Who is Sam Altman? He is the founder of OpenAI. He is the founder of OpenAI, the company that has built this ChatGPT system. Okay, so as part of World Line project, they have created a world coin, and you or me as an individual, we can create an account over here. To create an account, we need to get our iris scanned. Okay, once the iris is scanned, our account will be created and we will be rewarded with some free world coin. Okay, so this particular World Line project is also biometric information based, and Adhar system is also a biometric information based system. Okay, it is also a biometric information based system. And the thing is, like, with Adhar there are many concerns as well. So in this article they have discussed about what are the concerns related to Adhar. Okay, what are the concerns related to Adhar? So we are going to discuss about that, why the government, why government came out with Adhar, why government has initiated a project which is known as Adhar, why government has released Adhar. So we are going to discuss about it. So Adhar has been released for multiple purposes. One of the purposes to provide, unique identification ID, to provide unique identification card to people, right? This is one thing. And second, let's say, like, you know, objective of the government of India was to, let's say, like, you know, to provide, let's say, to provide benefits, to provide benefits, or let's say direct benefit transfer, to people. And if we are directly transferring the benefit to people, so it actually roots out the corruption, it roots out the middleman from the thing. So these are some of the purposes of the government of India. However, the Adhar system is facing some of the problems at this point of time. What problems is it facing? One of the problem, one of the problem or concern with the Adhar thing is, so we are going to discuss about it. One thing is mismatch of fingerprints, mismatch of fingerprints. What happens if I create my Adhar ID now, and if I am a manual worker, after few years my fingerprint may not match. Because of mismatch of fingerprint, what happens? There is a denial of service, there is a denial of service to me. So this happens. Second issue is in providing, let's say, benefit to the people. So there is a issue of ghost beneficiaries, there is a issue of ghost beneficiaries. So who are ghost beneficiaries? These are those people who take benefit, government benefit, using Adhar number of those people who have already died. For example, let's say there is a family of 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a family of 5 people. Then there was a person who was a beneficiary, of Adhar, and this person has died, but other members of the household are using his Adhar number of the deceased person to get the government benefit, so there is a issue of ghost beneficiary also. Then there is a issue of fake beneficiaries, okay, fake beneficiaries. So who are fake beneficiaries? Fake beneficiaries are those people like who are not entitled to benefits under the government scheme. However, using some or other Adhar number, they get the benefit, okay. So these are some of the problems that the Adhar system is facing. And apart from this, there are other issues also with the Adhar system. For example, if we take the case of ration cards, okay, if we take the example of ration cards, if a person wants to get ration, so he has to visit a ration shop, and that ration shop, I mean, like, you know, they will authenticate his Adhar biometric multiple times, and even after that there can be denial of service, because like many a times OTP does not reach the mobile phone, many a times the ration shops, they do not have, let's say, internet connection. So it leads to a lot of problem with the beneficiaries, okay, a lot of problems at the beneficiaries end, or receiving the benefits, you know, for the beneficiaries. So these are the issues. Apart from this, there is another problem as well with the Adhar system. What is that problem? Is that, like, let's say, like, you know, there is a ration shop, okay, there is a ration shop. We generally say it as public distribution system, okay, PDS shop. So under this shop, let's say a person goes, and this person is entitled to 35 kg of rice, okay, 35 kg of rice per month he is entitled. But the thing is, like, he goes, he gets his Adhar card, okay, he gets his Adhar card scanned, okay, I mean, like, authenticated, he gets the rice. However, the shop gives only, let's say, 25 kg of rice to that person. Everything is done well. However, instead of giving 35 kg of rice to him, the shop owner is giving only 25 kg of rice. So the quantity mismatch is not being looked into by the Adhar system. The Adhar system is not able to track the quantity mismatch also. So these are the things. However, like, you know, the objections or the issues that were raised by this particular report, which is, let's say, a report of Moody's Investor Service, Decentralized Finance and Digital World. All these, let's say, like, you know, all these things have been strictly, let's say, like, you know, in the government of India has strongly refuted these claims. Government of India said that the claims that are made by this Moody's Investor Service, they are baseless, because they do not understand how the Adhar system actually functions. So let us understand how the Adhar system functions, how people get the benefit under the direct benefit transfer scheme, okay. So how like, you know, DBT system works. So we are going to discuss about it, okay, how DBT system works. So number one, for this, one's Adhar card, okay, one's Adhar card must be linked to his bank account, okay, Adhar card must be linked to his bank account. This is important. Second thing is, his Adhar card, okay, his Adhar card must be linked to his job card. I mean, those people who are doing work under Pradhan Mantri, okay. There is a scheme, okay, Mahatma Gandhi National Employment Rural Act, like that, MG Narega, okay. So we have MG Narega. There is a scheme. So under this scheme, people can do manual work, right? 100 days of manual works are guaranteed, and those people who are working under Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, so these people are provided job card, and their job card should be linked with their Adhar number. So this is the second requirement. First is Adhar number must be linked with the bank account. Second, Adhar number must be linked with the job card. And the third thing is this Adhar card, okay. This Adhar card must be linked, right, must be mapped with the, let's say, bank branch, okay. Means like the bank branch should link it with National Payments Corporation of India, NPCI, okay. So National Payments Corporation of India actually authenticates, actually validates, like, you know, or approves the transfer of benefit to the people directly, okay. So the bank branch should link your Adhar card with the account number, and it should be mapped with the NPCI thing, okay, system, okay. So National Payments Corporation of India, it should be mapped with that. Only then, okay. So the third thing is the Adhar number must be linked correctly through the bank branch with the mapper of the National Payments Corporation of India, which acts as a clearing house of Adhar based payments, okay. So this acts, NPCI acts as a clearing house, okay. It acts as a clearing house for Adhar based payments, okay, clearing house for Adhar based payments. That's the thing. So this is how the direct benefit transfer system works, okay. This is how it works. This is the thing. So with this, let us quickly move to another topic, okay. And we have a question also. It says, how has Adhar based benefit transfer contributed to reducing leakages, corruption and inefficiencies in the distribution of government subsidies and welfare payments, okay. So this question you need to write an answer, and after writing an answer you can share your answer with us, right. You can share your answer with us at Jahidul at lukmaanias.com, okay, lukmaanias.com. You can share your answer with us on this email address, okay. So I'm going to evaluate your answer. I'm going to share the evaluated copy back with you. Then we have another topic. This topic says, is there a TB drug shortage in India? Okay, so this topic is related to, let's say, health, okay, health aspects. However, in this article they have looked into the issue of shortage of drugs, shortage of medicines to treat tuberculosis in India. They have discussed about like how TB drugs are in shortage in various states and what the central government has talked about it, and what various organizations like for example the World Health Organization has talked about this over here. So let us understand about this, like let us quickly learn about those medicines that are used for treatment of this thing, what, tuberculosis, okay. So tuberculosis is a kind of non-communicable diseases, okay. So the topic that we are going to understand now, this topic is there a TB drug shortage in India? Is there a TB drug shortage in India? Let's discuss about it. So what is tuberculosis? Tuberculosis in short is written as TB. It is a non-communicable disease, okay. It is a non-communicable disease. So this disease, once a person is affected by TB, generally it may exist with the person for lifelong, okay. It may exist with the person for lifelong. And the cases of TB, the severity, okay, severity keeps on increasing, okay, severity keeps on increasing, keeps on going up, severity keeps on going up related to TB, okay. So TB is a kind of very dangerous disease, and India has huge prevalence of TB, like globally India shares one of the largest burden of TB, okay. So when we compare with other countries. Now let us quickly discuss about what are different types of drugs, okay, or what are different types of TB, okay. So types of tuberculosis, let us discuss about that. One of the type of tuberculosis is known as drug resistant one of the TB is known as drug resistant TB, okay. One of the TB is drug resistant TB. Second TB is known as multi drug resistant TB, MDR TB. those tuberculosis which is resistant to drugs also. Those TB which is resistant to drugs, I mean like it is resistant to medicines. Even if you give medicine for treatment of TB, so it will not, the medicine will not be effective, okay, drug resistance. So then other form is known as multi-drug resistant TB. I mean like, many of the drugs are not functional for that thing, okay. So there are different kinds of medicines for treatment of each type of TB, okay, group A, group B, group C. So there are different types of medicines also for treatment of these TB. So I am going to quickly write the names of medicines, okay, names of medicines related to TB, okay. This is, I am writing just for understanding, because in prelims exam they may give the names of medicines and they may ask like, these medicines are used for treatment of what, okay. So you will be able to write an answer. One of the medicine is known as rifampicin, okay. One of the medicine is known as rifampicin, okay. This is one medicine. Apart from this, there is, let's say, linezolid, okay. Second is LINEZOLID, okay, linezolid, okay. Linezolid is second type of medicine. Then we have, let's say, clofazimine, okay, CLOFA, clofa, ZIMINE, clofazimine. Then fourth is known as cycloserine, okay, cycloserine. So these are some of the examples of drugs. These are not the only drugs for TB. There are many different types of drugs, and these drugs are recommended by the doctors for their patients based on the severity of the TB and based on the stage of TB that the patient is, let's say, like struggling with, okay. So there are many different types of drugs. So these are names of some of the drugs, okay. So do not recommend these drugs yourself to any patient. These are just names of few of the drugs. So in this article, basically they have discussed about that, like, there has been issue of shortage of TB in many states, and since the states ran out of TB, so they have asked the central government to provide supply of TB, but the central government declined, okay. Central government said like, you yourself procure the drugs related to TB. And there have been articles also in the newspaper, and then government of India came up with that, like, there is no shortage of TB. Then there were many other articles from WHO, World Health Organization also, that India is running out of TB. So in this article they have talked about these things, okay. They have talked about that how TB is in shortage, okay. So here, let's say, like, we have included an image also. In this image they have talked about what is multi-drug resistant TB, what is extensively drug resistant tuberculosis, okay. So that's the thing. So with this, let us now quickly move to the next topic, and we have a question for you. It says, consider the following: rifampicin, isoniazid, clofazimine, and then closerine, okay, cycloserine. So how many of the above chemicals are used to treat drug resistant tuberculosis, okay. So all of these drugs, okay, all of these are used to treat drug resistant tuberculosis, okay, drug resistant TB. So all of these are important. So correct answer is option D. You can go through the let's say explanation in your free time. You can download the PDF from the description of the YouTube video. Then we have another topic. It says, how important is the first asteroid sample, okay. How important is the first asteroid sample? So we are going to understand about this topic quickly, right. This topic is important under science and technology, okay. It is important for the prelims exam. Name of the topic is, how important is the first asteroid sample? How important is the first asteroid sample? Let's discuss about it, okay. This is a very, very important topic, okay. So here we need to understand about what are asteroids. We are going to discuss about, let's say, some concepts first. What are asteroids? So asteroids are those bodies, these are, let's say, rocky bodies that orbit the sun. Okay, so these are kind of rocky bodies, okay, that revolve around the sun, okay, that revolve around the sun. However, I mean, like, planets also revolve around the sun. How these bodies are different from planets? Basically, they revolve around the sun between, right, between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter, okay, Mars and Jupiter in a belt, right, they orbit in a belt between Mars and Jupiter, okay, so they are known as asteroids. And these asteroids have been formed when the, let's say, like, when after the let's say, like, Big Bang happened. So these asteroids are believed to have been formed of the same material like with which the planets have been formed, okay. So that's why there is a, let's say, quest, there is a query among the scientific community. They want to understand about the origin of the universe. They want to understand how the universe originated. For that, they want to do a study. They want to do, let's say, research on asteroid samples. They want to study different types of asteroids. So one of the asteroid that is of importance is known as asteroid, okay, name of this asteroid is asteroid Bennu, okay, there is an asteroid which is known as asteroid Bennu, okay, this is Bennu, but there is a number also which is assigned to this asteroid, and this number is 101955, okay, asteroid 101955, okay, this is asteroid Bennu. This asteroid Bennu, I mean, like, why has it been in news? Because the United States of America, the USA, right, has a space agency which is known as NASA. NASA has launched a space mission which is known as OSIRIS-REx. Okay, this space mission is known as OSIRIS-REx mission. So this OSIRIS-REx mission that they had launched, right, in the year of 2016, this mission has gone to the asteroid Bennu. It has landed on asteroid Bennu. It has collected some samples from the asteroid and it has come back to the earth. It has dropped that particular sample, right, of the asteroid on the surface of the earth. Okay, it has let's say, like, dropped it on the surface of the earth somewhere in the United States of America, and the scientists have collected that particular sample of the asteroid, okay, and this sample will be analyzed by the scientists to understand about the origin of the, right, origin of the universe. So that's why we are understanding that how important is the first asteroid sample. So this is the first asteroid sample that was brought by this mission which is known as OSIRIS-REx mission. So what is the full form of this OSIRIS-REx? OSIRIS-REx stands for Origins Spectral, okay, so I am writing full name of this particular mission, okay, Origins Spectral, okay, Origins Spectral Interpretation, okay, Origins Spectral Interpretation, okay, Origins Spectral Interpretation, Resource Identification, okay, Resource Identification, Security, Regolith Explorer. Very complex name. This is the full form of this mission, okay. So name of the mission is OSIRIS-REx. It stands for Origins Spectral Interpretation Resource Identification Security Regolith Explorer, okay. Origins means using this mission they want to study the origin of the universe, okay. So they are going to understand about how the universe has originated and what different kinds of wavelengths have been, let's say, emitted, and they are going to identify the resource. For example, from the asteroid Bennu, they have collected a sample, and that sample will be analyzed by the scientist, okay, to understand about the composition of that sample. And when we talk about security, security means there are many asteroids that let's say they are revolving around the sun in the asteroid belt, right, the belt which lies between Mars and Jupiter. So from that belt there is a possibility that one or other asteroid may hit the surface of the earth in future. To secure the earth, to protect the earth from any kind of explosion, right, from any kind of, let's say, like collision, so we can send some kind of spacecraft that's going to deflect, right, the asteroids that are coming towards the earth. So that is the, let's say, meaning of security in this case, okay. So in this article they have talked about like how important is the first asteroid sample. It is highly important because through this sample they will be able to analyze about the quality of the material. They will be able to analyze about the composition of the materials that have been brought, okay. And so this is not the only, let's say, asteroid mission that NASA has. Apart from this, there are many other missions also, okay. So another reason apart from planetary security and the origins of life is to study asteroids like Bennu is the possibility of mining them, okay. So many countries have launched their own mission to mine the asteroids, okay. So one of the NASA's Galileo mission, which has been launched in 1989, then near Shoemaker, it has been launched in 1996, and Japan's Hayabusa 1, it has been launched in 2003. Hayabusa 2 2014 missions have found that many asteroids are solid debris from supernova, okay. So these are the things. So these countries are doing a study on these asteroids. So this is, let's say, image of asteroid Bennu, the asteroid that we have talked about just now, okay. It is the photograph of this asteroid. So I have included some other photographs also to make you clearly understand about this thing, okay. So let's say this is the sun is at the center, then this is asteroid Bennu, which is revolving around the sun, and this is Earth. From Earth they have launched a mission which is known as OSIRIS-REx mission. This mission has been launched, right, by NASA, and this mission, I mean, like what they have done, they have landed on the surface, right. This mission has landed on the surface of this particular asteroid Bennu. From there it has collected sample, and after collecting sample it has dropped that sample on the surface of the earth, and that sample, so this image showcases how that sample has been collected, right, how that sample has been collected by this mission, okay. I'm not going to go into much detail on this, however this is just to understand what is OSIRIS-REx mission. Now with this we have another topic. It says Asia's disputed waters. This topic is highly important for under, let's say, international relations. So we are going to understand about this, okay. Asia's disputed waters. Let's see if I have included some other image also. No, okay. So let's quickly discuss about this. So basically this topic is revolving around South China Sea. Where is South China Sea located? So like we have included an image also. So like here to the south of China there is a sea. This is known as South China Sea. So on South China Sea is one of the busiest routes, right? One of the busiest sea routes through which, let's say, like export and import business and goods happen. So around 20% of the world's, right, 20% of the world's trade happen through this particular route, and this route plays a very important role because it connects Indian Ocean with Pacific Ocean, okay. So that's why many countries across the world has an interest on this particular route. They have an interest on this route. However, recently what has happened, there was dispute related to sovereignty on the South China Sea, okay. The disputing parties were, on one side there was China, and on the other side there were many other countries that includes Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, Vietnam, etc. Okay, so these countries also say that we have sovereignty over South China Sea. China says like we have sovereignty. China claims its historical rights over the waters and, let's say, like on the land, right, beneath the ocean, right. So they say like they have historical rights over here. But in the year of 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration has given a judgment. They have given a judgment which was against China. They said that the entire region does not belong to China. And if we talk about how the dispute will be resolved between these parties, so the thing is in the disputing party, on one side there is China, on the other side most of the countries that are there, they are members of Association of Southeast Asian Nations, okay, which is known as ASEAN, okay. So on one side there is China, on other side there are members of this particular grouping which is known as Association of Southeast Asian Nations. And these members themselves have, let's say for example in this thing there is Philippines, there is Malaysia, there is Brunei. So between them itself there are, let's say disputes related to sovereignty in South China Sea. So that's why they are not able to work as a group related to issues in South China Sea. So on one side most of them countries are not against China, they are, let's say, against each other also. So they are not able to create a unified front against China in this region, okay. And China has created a 9-dash line, okay. 9-dash line means China has, let's say, established artificial islands around the South China Sea, and that's why China says that everything that is there as part of 9-dash line, it belongs to China. So this thing has been happening, but the thing is these countries have together decided, China along with these disputing countries, they have decided that there should be a code of conduct for all these member countries, so that peaceful business can happen right through South China Sea. And they have also agreed to follow the international norms. They have agreed to follow the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. They have decided to follow the UNCLOS also, which is known as United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. So this particular convention sets out rules, right? What portion of water belongs to a particular country. It talks about territorial water, it talks about exclusive economic zones, it talks about, let's say, high seas and all. And in case, let's say, these regions are lesser, right, between two countries, in that case the middle line would be considered as the, let's say, border, right, between these countries. However, recently what has happened, China has created a kind of barrier by establishing ropes around Scarborough Shoal, okay. So Scarborough Shoal is a kind of, let's say, island groups in the South China Sea. So this is Scarborough Shoal. So this is here, okay. So around Scarborough Shoal, China has, let's say, Chinese Coast Guard has established kind of ropes. They have, let's say, tied it through ropes, 300-meter rope. And recently, on the order of the President of Philippines, right, the Coast Guard of Philippines has cut those ropes, and that has led to heightened tension between China and Philippines, okay. So this is the case, okay. So in today's article, they have mentioned about the ongoing issue in the South China Sea. Kanha Tour and Travels, Kanha has asked, sir, BSc dummy करके UPSC की तैयारी करना ठीक होगा या नहीं, प्लीज बता दो सर. ओके, सी द क्वेश्चन दैट यू हैव आस्क्ड, जो क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा है वो क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा अलग है हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर एनालिसिस के साथ, बट द थिंग इज ये आपका चॉइस होना चाहिए. आई वुड लाइक टू गिव आंसर टू कान्हा, ओके. I mean the person who has written the comment, right? So you want to say कि मतलब आप जो BSc कर रहे हो, you don't want to attend this BSc in regular, okay? I mean आप BSc regular attend नहीं करना चाहते, and then आप जो है आप BSc करना चाहते हैं but regular attend नहीं करना चाहते, और साथ साथ आप UPSC की तैयारी करना चाहते हैं, right? So if it is possible for you, if it is allowing कि आप distance mode में BSc करें या dummy format में BSc करें, तो if distance mode में आप BSc करने के बाद if it is possible, then you can do and you can prepare for UPSC, because UPSC preparation is going to take time, okay? Means it takes 2 years of time, maybe more than 2 years of time for preparation. If it is possible, since you are doing undergraduation, means you are young enough and you want to clear the examination in a quicker time period. So in that case you may think of doing it. However, you need to make it sure that जहाँ से भी आप बीएससी कर रहे हो वो वैलिड डिग्री प्रोवाइड करता है, एंड साथ में आप बीएससी की जितनी भी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, जो एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है एग्जाम में बैठने के लिए, पास होने के लिए, यू शुड फुलफिल ऑल ऑफ इट. ओनली देन लेट्स से लाइक ओनली देन यू शुड प्रिपेयर फॉर यूपीएससी. आई मीन लाइक यूपीएससी के लिए जो बेसिक क्वालिफिकेशन होता है, यू शुड बी अ ग्रेजुएट पर्सन. आपको ग्रेजुएट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. अगर आप ग्रेजुएट है उसके बाद आप यूपीएससी में सिविल सर्विसेज में बैठ सकते हैं, मतलब आइदर फाइनल ईयर में या फिर आफ्टर गेटिंग द डिग्री. ओके, यू कैन सिट इन दिस थिंग. ओके, सो दैट्स द थिंग. आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड कान्हा. सो दिस इज द थिंग. ओके, सो विद दिस we will now quickly move to another topic. Okay, we will quickly move to another topic. Now this topic says Chennai's top node in tortoise trafficking network. Okay, so in this article they have talked about a kind of trafficking network who are trafficking the tortoise. Okay, tortoise means कछुआ. कछुआ का जब वो ट्रैफिकिंग कर रहे, people are let's say catching this tortoise, they are selling it in the market after killing them. So the thing is like Chennai, I mean like it has a port also. So it is acting as one of the node where many people like who are involved in trafficking the tortoise, so they are involved over here. So in this article they have talked about a report that was recently published. Okay, so according to that report, Chennai acts as the let's say like node for tortoise trafficking, and they have discussed about two types of tortoise. They have said that tortoise and freshwater turtles are on the largest continent on the earth. Okay, so like there is a turtle crisis. Okay, this is known as Asian turtle crisis. Okay, they talked about कि दो problem है, ठीक है. एक तो Asia, which is the largest continent, right, it has let's say like turtle crisis because of this trafficking that is happening. In this article they have not mentioned any IUCN status of tortoise. However, they have talked about कि जो चेन्नई है, ठीक है, चेन्नई, that acts as a node, and like this tortoise trafficking happens at many places in the world. They have mentioned about Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok and other places, Bangladesh, where like this network is functioning. Okay, tortoise, it is important, and one of the tortoise has remains in news, which is let's say like which is found in Gahir Matha. I mean like it's found in this thing. I mean they do Aribada mass nesting, okay, in Odisha. So that's a different type of tortoise. Okay, so I forgot the name of that tortoise at this point of time. But we have another topic to discuss. It's from Science and Technology. It says Aditya L1 spacecraft escapes sphere of Earth's influence. Okay, so as we all know that Aditya L1 is the first solar mission of ISRO. It's the first solar mission of India. So through this mission we want to study the sun, we want to study the coronosphere of the sun, we want to study the solar mass ejection, we want to do analysis of the radiations that are let's say like that are emitted by the sun through this mission, which is known as Aditya L1 mission. So this mission has been launched by Indian Space Research Organization on 2nd of September, and after then this mission, I mean like this particular Aditya L1 spacecraft, it is going to move from the surface of the earth to a point which is known as L1 point. L1 is Lagrange point 1. So between two bodies, between earth and sun, there are 5 Lagrange points. One of the Lagrange point is L1 point that is there between earth and sun. So I am quickly going to draw the Lagrange points for you so that you understand. Okay, so let's say on one side we have this earth. Okay, we have earth. Then on the other side, let's say we have the sun. Okay, we have the sun like that. Okay, sun is very far away located from earth. We are sending a spacecraft which is going to reach here at L1 point. Okay, so L1 is between earth and sun, in the line joining earth and sun. Okay, so this is sun. Then there is L2 also. L2 exists, which is to the opposite side of earth. L3 exists to the opposite side of sun. Then there is L4 also. Okay, L4 and L5. So there are 5 Lagrange points between Earth and Sun. Okay, so what are Lagrange points? Lagrange points are those places where a spacecraft is going to experience very less amount of gravitational force from Earth or from Sun. It will be able to stay in a stable equilibrium in this particular location. Okay, so like once we are able to send and locate a spacecraft over here, from here it will be able to study the Sun, because it has a direct visibility to the Sun. However, this particular location from Earth to L1 point is about 15 lakh kilometer away. Okay, it is 15 lakh kilometer away, which is also known as 1.5 million kilometer away. Okay, this distance is about 4 times the distance between Earth and Moon. Okay, so whatever distance is there between Earth and Moon, so it is 4 times of that distance. Okay, so it has many objectives. It has around 7 payloads as part of Aditya L1. Okay, so those payloads details I have discussed, let's say, in previous classes. So the thing is, this mission has been launched. It's going to reach at L1 point. After reaching L1 point, it's going to revolve around L1 point in an orbit which is known as halo orbit. This orbit is known as halo orbit. Okay, so it's going to orbit around L1 point, and it's going to orbit along with the Earth, let's say around the Sun. That's the thing. Okay, so in this article they have said that Aditya L1 spacecraft escapes a sphere of Earth's influence. Means like it has gone very far from Earth, that like it has escaped the Earth's influence of gravity. So it has now reached 9.2 lakh kilometer from Earth. Okay, it is around 9.2 lakh kilometer away from Earth. Means it's very near to the L1 point. Okay, so it is on its journey. This journey is going to last for around 110 days, and after then it's going to reach the halo point, halo orbit, L1 point. From here it's going to do the study. Okay, so recently ISRO has shared this particular thing on Twitter. Okay, Twitter means platform X, that's the thing. So Vishal Kumar has written something. Vishal has said, "Good evening sir, is current affairs video available on daily basis on this channel? Whether this is charged course?" Okay, so good evening Vishal. So the thing is, the Hindu newspaper analysis that I take every day, so it is free of charge, it is free of cost, and it generally happens from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day in live format. And if you are nearby ORN, you can also visit our office and you can attend it offline, in offline format as well here. Okay, it is free, it happens every day, this class. Then this is another topic. It says genomic markers of disease resistance in Staghorn corals. Okay, corals. So the thing is, like here we are going to talk about a kind of corals. Okay, so these corals are known as Staghorn corals. The name of these corals are Staghorn corals. So what are corals? So these corals are, let's say, like a kind of a species that are underwater species. So they are present in the shallow waters. I mean, like they are not very deep into the ocean. They are at shallow level, so that like they can receive the sunlight. So they receive sunlight also. And the thing is, like corals have a kind of symbiotic relationship with one kind of algae which is known as zooxanthellae algae. Okay, so they are in a symbiotic relationship with zooxanthellae algae. In this article they have talked about the genomic markers of disease resistance in Staghorn corals. Okay, so like so in these corals they have identified markers of genomic resistance. Okay, and these corals are found in the Caribbean. Okay, where they are found in the Caribbean. So where are Caribbean located? The Caribbean islands are located between North America and South America. Okay, so between South America and North America there is a region which is known as Caribbean islands. So you can refer to this small map, So here we have North America, we have South America, and between them this is Caribbean islands. So like Caribbean islands has, let's say, huge number of islands. There are huge number of islands as part of this. Okay, so like here there is a country Jamaica. Okay, in Jamaica there is Kingston. So this Jamaica is the let's say is here we have headquarters of International Seabed Authority. So International Seabed Authority is one of the authority under United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, the UNCLOS that we have discussed earlier. Okay, so in this article they have talked about that, like some kind of this thing has been found right, in these corals. Okay, so coral reefs are very important. These corals are important. Okay, they are known as Staghorn corals. A genome-wide survey of highly endangered Staghorn coral in the Caribbean has identified 10 regions associated with resilience against white band disease. White band disease means whenever what happens inside the coral, if let's say like their environment changes, in that case they release the zooxanthellae algae from it, and if further changes happen, these corals may die out. Okay, after dying, so they become whitish in color. Okay, so that's the thing. So that's why this has been in news. Now let us talk about this question. This question is related to environment and ecology, and we need to, let's say, solve this question. So this is also a picture of, let's say, coral reef. However, this coral reef, this picture is of, let's say, like Great Barrier Reef. Okay, so this Great Barrier Reef is very near to Australia. So we will solve this question. It says, with reference to the corals, consider the following statements. One of the statements says, coral polyps are the animals primarily responsible for building reefs. This is right. To capture the food, corals are stinging cells called nematocytes. Then corals live in a predator relationship with algae called zooxanthellae. Okay, first is right, second is right, third is wrong. Here they have talked about that they stay in a predator relationship with algae, zooxanthellae. It's not predator relationship. It's a kind of, let's say, to be very specific, it's a kind of symbiotic relationship. Okay, it's a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic means the corals get benefit from the zooxanthellae algae, and zooxanthellae algae gets shelter from the corals. Okay, so like they share benefits among themselves. In predator relationship, only one of the species gets benefited, other gets harmed. Okay, but in this case, both the species get benefited from one another. Okay, so you can go through the solution in your free time. Then we have another topic. It says fungal pathogens sticking power, virulence uncovered. Okay, so this is also science and tech based question, very very, let's say, difficult topic to understand. However, it says an uncharacterized adhesine protein specific to a human fungal pathogen plays a crucial role in the fungus's ability to colonize a variety of living and non-living surfaces and its virulence. Okay, so basically there are some kind of, let's say, like fungus. So these fungus may get stick to surface of human body, may get stick to surface of any plant or animal body, and once they get stick to it, then it starts playing its functions. Okay, so virulence means the capacity to act as virus, the capacity to, let's say, affect the host. Okay, so a kind of a study was published. In that study they have said the findings about this Candida auris offer insight into the genetics and molecular mechanism by which this fungal mediates surface association, a trait critical to the increasing disease burden of this emergence pathogen. Okay, so so it is able to stick to the surface of the animal or plant or the human being, and it increases the disease burden on the host. Okay, that's the thing. Then we have another topic. This topic is from Science and Technology. It says Loki play prominent role in Darwin's finch evolution. Okay, Darwin's finch evolution. So we need to understand about Darwin's evolution also, Darwin's theory of evolution. As we discussed in the beginning, that Darwin has studied on the Galapagos Island to come up with theories of evolution. Where is Galapagos Island located? Galapagos Islands are located to the west of Ecuador, right? So Ecuador is a country in South America. Okay, there are 12 countries in South America. Ecuador is one of the countries in South America. To the west of Ecuador, let's say around 1000 kilometer west, so there is an island which is known as Galapagos Island. So this is, let's say, this is the image of Galapagos Island, and this Galapagos Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has been given a UNESCO World Heritage tag, right? Why? So that protection, further protection can happen on this island. This island has, let's say, like, endemic species which are, let's say, endemic to this place. Endemic means those species that are found in this location itself. Okay, so these species require a high amount of protection, and Ecuador as a country, they have, let's say, like, protected this region, and also they allow people to do ecotourism. And for ecotourism also, like, it, let's say, does it with lot of guidelines so that the tourists do not harm the ecological sanctity of this particular region. So in this article they have talked about Loki play prominent role in Darwin's finch evolution. So who was Darwin? His full name is Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin has given theories of evolution. He has talked about that how species evolved. So one of the let's say one of the prominent thing that he has talked about is let's say, like, he has talked about one key concept. So that is known as this radiative. Okay, so just a minute. He has talked about adaptive evolution. Okay, he has talked about adaptive evolution. He has talked about adaptive radiation or adaptive evolution. So what do we mean by adaptive evolution or adaptive radiation? It means Charles Darwin said that there used to be a single parent, from which different species has emerged, and they have, let's say, like, changed over the period of time. Evolution has happened. Okay, so adaptive theory of evolution says that there were all of us, all the living animals, plants, they share a common ancestor. Okay, they share a common ancestor, and over the period of time, because of natural selection, okay, because of this evolution, the species have divided and they have, let's say, evolved over the period of time. Okay, so the thing is, like, Charles Darwin has done a study on the Galapagos Island. So in this article they have said that genome sequencing of nearly 4,000 of Darwin's finches has uncovered how a very small number of genetic loci contribute to the genetic potential for rapid adaptive radiation in these birds. Okay, now let us understand about what they are saying. What Charles Darwin has done, like, he has went to the Galapagos Island. In the Galapagos Island, he has seen, right, inside that island there are many different groups of island. He has gone to each of them. He has done a study of the species that are found over there. Particularly, he has studied the, let's say, bird species, and he has identified that this particular thing, these birds has different kind of beaks. What we say, this particular thing is different for each birds, and this has, let's say, changed over a course of time, because in some of the islands there are hard shells from where, let's say, to extract the seed they have to let's say, knock it multiple times. Okay, but the thing is, like, in other islands where it was easy to find food, so they have not evolved much. So the thing is, Charles Darwin has done a study on these bird species. He has said that how their beak has changed over a period of time. Okay, so they talked about a kind of concept which is known as adaptive radiation. In adaptive radiation, what happens, that one ancestor is there, then out of that ancestor there are, let's say, there are many offsprings, and these offsprings let's say, are able to survive, and those are able to survive that are fittest for the environment. Okay, the fittest one survives more, and they develop some kind of characteristics that are, let's say, naturally adapted to this environment, and they have the chances of more survival, they have chances of producing more offspring, and in this process it has led to evolution, right? It has led to different types of evolution. So in this article they have discussed about this thing. Okay, that's the thing. Apart from this, we have another topic. This topic I'll be little quick. It says Army's Project Udbhav to rediscover Indic heritage of statecraft. Okay, so Indian Army has launched a project. Its name is Udbhav project, and through this project they are going to study the ancient past. They are going to study the text of the ancient past, how people used to, let's say, like run their state. I mean, like, you know, how they used to maintain their military, how they used to conduct businesses of the state. That is known as statecraft. Okay, that's known as statecraft. And it is important to understand Udbhav. But the thing is, this Udbhav is not only limited to understanding about, let's say, like, you know, the art of, let's say, statecraft in India. They are also going to do many other kind of studies, and these studies will be helpful for Indian Army and for India at large in the in the near future. And they are going to do indigenous strategic vocabulary. They are going to build a kind of indigenous strategic vocabulary from this. Okay. So we have another question on this topic. It says, recently seen in the news, Udbhav project refers to which of the following? They have given multiple statements, but the correct answer is D. It says a project to rediscover the profound Indic heritage of statecraft and strategic thoughts derived from the ancient Indian text. Okay, D is the right answer in this case. So I hope you might have understood this topic. You can go through the explanation in your free time. You can download the PDF from the description of the YouTube video. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for joining today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.